Welcome, everyone. Charles and Martina here to invite you to a conversation about the human kingdom as part of the Shambala Unity Council. Charles, straight to the point. Everybody knows about the human kingdom. Why do we still have to talk about it?
Oh, Martina, welcome everyone. Am I sure that everyone knows about the human kingdom? Yeah, I think it's really funny. We think we know the human kingdom, but really know very little about who we are, where we came from, or how we came to be. So all kinds of stories are told about the creation of man, from folklore to some written books, which is mostly also folklore. So the sad part of this whole thing is that no one on earth has a remembrance or a continuous history going back over 200 million years of the journey of man on earth. So we really do not know the human kingdom. When scientists look in the evolutionary lineage of the human and how we got to be Homo sapiens, and there are so many missing gaps. And this is probably because there has been many versions of what was called human beings here on Earth. And it has been a playground where many people, many cultures of Earth have come and had their hand in forming what they call human. So over time, many types and species and kinds of human beings were created and destroyed, so we don't have a complete history.
Could you please give us an overview of, say, the major stories that we should be aware of before we go forward?
Yeah, the major stories, maybe we'll start off by saying that no one version is correct or complete. So many kinds of stories are told about how we came to be about, whether it was the drop of water or an egg that formed human beings. And the part of the consistent ones we have had is the one that is narrated in the Bible about the creation of man, which really doesn't quite follow a logical sequence, but that is the story that many people have heard over the last several years. In July 2025, my dad turned 100 years old, and I had consulted him to find out about what stories he heard as a baby. But unfortunately, the part of Nigeria where we came from had been Christianized for over 200 years, and he didn't remember any of the folklores. So we go now with the religious fables of the Bible, where the Genesis, the creation of mud and God breathing into the mud, was the story that is told. And that's also in the pseudoscience world of where we have Neanderthals and being manipulated by people from off Earth to create the human body. So really, up until today, no one culture or one story is complete about the creation of who a human being is. We know we are here. We know we are intelligent. We know that we have a spiritual side. We know we can contact people from other planets, other galaxies, but the true story of Earth, I'm afraid, has really not been told.
Yeah. And at this point, I think Shambala and the Shambala Unity Council comes back into the picture.
Yes. Yes. The Shambhala Unity Council comes back into the picture as you have described in the same volume 1 of the Chronicles of the SANAT Kumara book, I Am Ready. So the Earth is meant to be a university planet. And what that means is that many cultures, many societies do send people, their own people, here on Earth. And as we know in our current understanding, many people who are now spiritually awake know their soul connection from different planets. Some come from Sirius, others come from the Pleiades. Though they are in a human body, but they still remember their connection to where they have started off within the universe. And on top of that, all the kingdoms now we are talking about, the Deva Kingdom, the Conry and Oblan. So you may meet someone who is in a human form, the body. But that being has had experience from different parts of the universe, and they are here to co-create. In this period, we are uplifting Earth into the fifth dimension, and everybody's here focused on this same work. The human body is like a tool, or maybe the tree, or maybe any object is a tool for spirit to work with. So beings who come in here are spirits, and we are all spirits, but we are being housed in a human body. So from the chronicles of the SANAT Kumara, we know that the human civilizations on most planets, maybe about 20% of the soul group may be in the form as incarnates on a physical planet, whereas majority, over 60-70%, will be in the spirit from the fourth dimension on and higher. And that's exactly what is coming to happen to our Earth. As we go into the fifth dimension, more souls will ascend into the fifth dimension and will be in semi-etheric body, and not this firm physical third dimension body that we know. So we have options to grow. And part of why we're talking about the 12 kingdoms is that the soul, the human soul, has to merge with a Deva soul in order to be able to ascend, and also maybe with other souls in the kingdom. So this is a very exciting time for people. It's taken us several thousand years to get here, but now people can now ascend by co-creating with the Deva Kingdom, the Oblan, the Conry, and other kingdoms within the 12 kingdoms of Earth.
To me, Charles, the greatest revelation is that, first of all, because you have a humanoid body doesn't mean you are a human on soul level.
Exactly.
Secondly, we just, in the process of opening up to all other kingdoms and becoming aware each day more how beautifully everything falls into place once we recognize each other, we respect each other, and we cooperate with each other. Of course, we have an awful lot to clean up on this planet, because these kingdoms have been, used, misused, whatnot.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we're moving into the point where we start, hey, that tree over there,
Yeah.
these plants, these minerals, they are brothers and sisters on the same level.
Exactly.
And once that mental step is taken, a whole new world opens up for us. And being human takes a completely new perspective.
Exactly. So one way to look at it is for you to be more of a human, to be a complete human who's not just physical only, you have to unite and collaborate with other souls that are here, maybe exhibiting as animals or exhibiting as plants or other kingdoms that are part of the co-creation. So now the other kingdoms have equal rights, both in Shambala and on what happens on Earth. And as you said, Martina, we need to continue to respect them, knowing that their opinion counts. And it's only by consensus that we can now get things done as one united kingdom for the Earth.
It was, for me, really interesting to see how well connected these other kingdoms are through networks, mycelium networks, networks that we are unaware of. So where we behave, how we behave in one place gets immediately communicated through all the other kingdoms.
Yes.
They know of us, so when we enter their space, they already have a perception of who we really
who we
are.
are. Yes, who we really are. And this is where being respectful and honoring their being is very important. And we'll get better cooperation. You see on the internet people who are interacting with trees and greeting the trees, and the trees reach out and touch them. And different animals are coming closer to human beings and not as afraid, because we send this vibration of love to everything around us, and we receive love in return.
We humans have the tendency to judge and evaluate ourselves by what we say. Whereas these kingdoms judge and evaluate us by how we behave.
How we behave.
That is the measure.
Yeah.
The rest is irrelevant to them.
Exactly.
And that was a wonderful realization, saying, wait a minute, how am I perceived?
Yeah. And also to remember that group consciousness is what Earth is entering into. Your thoughts and your feelings are no longer hidden from other beings.
Yeah.
So, and as very quickly too, the humans in the physical form will be able to read thoughts and know what is going on, whether you say it or not.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Charles, you just mentioned that moments ago. We have, as humans, a common path with the Deva Kingdom.
Yeah.
The more we ascend, the more we will integrate, merge, and go together. And next week, no, not next week, in 2 weeks' time, actually, next episode, we'll take you into the Deva Kingdom. Thank you very much for listening to us.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.
We'll be glad if you leave us comments, questions, and let us know from wherever in the world you are listening. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.